Hello everyone, welcome to Trackside with Tom. Today we are starting out in Muscatine, Iowa. We have got what looks like a local lined up. Just a little shorty coming through the riverfront downtown Muscatine. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. I've got Evan Weber with me here today. Say hello to everyone, Evan.
Hola amigos, hope you all are doing okay.
So we have got, thank you Evan for that.
Yeah.
We've definitely got, it looks like a work train maybe.
Uh-oh. I might need to go grab my car keys if that's the case.
We've got it looks like an empty ballast train, but it's a long,
come on.
I think it's a long hood forward Jeep that's pulling it.
Really? Oh yeah, it's a little tiny ballast train.
Uh-huh. No, it's a long hood forward
60.
SD60, yep.
Oh man. All right. Well, I was about to lose it there, but you know my deal with long hood 60s.
Yeah.
You know how much I just
all you have to
them.
do is go out to Hiawatha to get those. You don't have to drive all
I'll
the way
ride
down
my
to
bike out
Muscatine.
to Robbins tonight if I want to go see one of those.
Yeah. So no value there.
Nah.
All right, well, we just got our first train of the day. Looked like a half-loaded rock train that was heading out to Hines. If I'm looking at ATCS right now, he's only lined up to Hines at this point down the main.
Where do you think he came from?
I assume he came out of the new yard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I assume he was parked and he just came out of the new yard and he's on his way to dump rock out at Hines now.
Yeah. Looked like they were just needed to use X amount of cars for X amount of ballast, so they just took a section. I bet there's more to that train sitting in that yard still, because
that could be.
Yeah.
All right. Did you say there's something getting close to Trempealeau then?
Not really. The next thing in line is a ways out, so.
All right. Well, let's go over to Sedalia quick. We're going to talk about our brand new webcam in Sedalia, Missouri. Highly popular yesterday. We had 60-some people that checked in. And this is our newest webcam. I was literally just down in Sedalia, Missouri yesterday. And I got to meet Josh Hufford down there, who's done a lot of work. Done a lot of work with ATCS over the years. And Lucas Robinson from Boonville is the guy who actually got me sent down this path and helped get set up with the host here in Sedalia. So thanks to everyone who contributed to that. Josh was also out there helping me do the physical install yesterday as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about Sedalia, Missouri, since we don't have any other imminent train traffic that I'm aware of. Evan's got one eye scanning ATCS for us, so he's going to let us know where to switch and when. But this is being hosted by Osage Pawn and Gun, and as you can see, their location is directly across from the Sedalia Amtrak depot. Now, this does not host any long-distance Amtrak. Sedalia is on the Union Pacific River sub, former Mopac. If you can actually see the Missouri Pacific Line's shield that's still on the brick depot over there. And this is a 4-train-a-day Missouri River Runner service. It is a state-sponsored service. It actually connects with the Illinois Lincoln service at St. Louis, which is another state-sponsored service which runs from St. Louis to Chicago. This is the Missouri state-sponsored service that runs from St. Louis to Kansas City. And it's called the River Runner. We just apparently missed... Did you say that the eastbound River Runner just went by?
The westbound went by, and the eastbound came by sometime before that.
Okay.
So they pretty much converged right here, but unfortunately before we could get on the air.
Right. So anyway, that was I'm trying to scroll back here and I'm not really seeing it, but hopefully, I mean, I don't ever want to encourage Amtrak to be late, but quite honestly, if they ever showed up about 10 minutes late, it would be perfect for us to do on this noon program.
And it's not like it's routine to begin with.
Yeah. But their station time is 11:50 in the morning, so it's really close. We just missed it by a few minutes. Anyway, so this is the Union Pacific Sedalia sub, and it's directional running here. Due to the grades on the two lines, the Union Pacific has the both of the former Mopac lines. It's the river sub, which runs further north, and it has the Sedalia sub, which is what we're looking at, which runs a little further south. The river sub has easier grades, so they run eastbound with their loaded trains on the river sub. And here at Sedalia, you're going to see primarily westbound trains with the heavier grades going uphill. So yesterday morning when I was driving through, I saw a doubled up empty coal train going west, and a pretty common sight out here in central Iowa as well. And we also got to see a couple of manifest trains, and then obviously Amtrak, which runs both directions through here. And
there aren't any trains that run through per se. They all stop here, don't they?
The Amtrak?
Yes.
Yes. In both directions, all four trains make station stops at Sedalia. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. I was curious if it was a similar situation in New Buffalo, Michigan, where they've got 6 trains east, 6 trains west. 3 east, 3 west. And some of the morning trains actually go just straight through. It is quite a sight to see, I will say, because the track speed through the middle of town is, I think, like 95.
Oh, wow.
So it's a sight to see a train moving that fast at all.
Right.
But,
and they must have done some grade crossing mitigation to allow that to happen.
Well, not quite. They've dumped a ton of money into getting extremely nice crossings that don't even use track circuits to activate. They use ITCM, which is basically just a more advanced PTC arrangement. So those crossings go off at a good minute before the train is anywhere near them. So
sure,
they absolutely aren't playing around with those kind of speeds.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be in central Missouri and you're looking for a pawn shop to buy or sell, make sure and check out Osage Pawn and Gun. The guys, Chris, definitely fix you up. A wonderful group there that I got to meet and work with yesterday. And they are our newest Steel Highway camera host. So
we've also got a train coming up here on East Dubuque any minute now. It's actually got the diamonds in its crosshairs, so I don't know if we want to switch to that.
Let's go ahead. And actually, this is interesting. We've got some kind of a Loram train over there on the furthest south track here at East Dubuque.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
think I'm going to pull up the east camera here quickly. And that ballast train has got lights all the way into Nahant now also, just in case anyone was curious. Let's see here. Let's pull up East Dubuque East, and maybe we can get a little better view of what's going on with this Loram. We're looking. There it is. Pull you up. And drag this over. We have, this is actually a fairly complex piece of track equipment here. Evan, do you want to take a stab at this one?
Well, I think I've seen one of these on video. I think this is something related to the ballast. I think that big wheel regulates the ballast just off to the side of the ties. Because I've seen, it's kind of like one of those big, like, mining scoop trucks or whatever you call them, like mining cranes.
5 to go.
In one way or another, those belts move the ballast and relocate it. Looks like there's a little white tank on the end of the consist there.
Yes.
Probably stores whatever they pick up. It could be magnets too. They could be trying to pick up scrap metal.
Yep. It's a ballast undercutter. There we go. That's
okay.
That's we got it in the comments now. I was waiting to see if you were going to get there with it. So
Looks
I think
like
our
we've
train
also got
is
a winged friend.
yes. Yes, no shortage of insect life at East Dubuque. That's for sure. And
I'll do.
you know, I heard them actually whistling for the crossing.
Yeah, they were when they were coming up. They had something weird. I think there was there might be some MOW going on, track inspection, something of the sort.
Well, I know that when we were doing this show on Friday, I think it was Friday, maybe it was Thursday, one of the two, they were calling out Form Bs as they were going through and talking to maintenance away in charge of Form Bs coming through East Dubuque.
Crossing just did its trademark, go down, go up.
Bounce up, bounce down. Yeah.
Right. It's to the point where you can literally just assume that it's malfunctioning at this point. That's actually gotten me a couple times.
Yeah. As you're watching the East Dubuque camera.
Yes, I hear the crossing go off, look over, no train. All right, cool. And I'll go back, and then all of a sudden I look over. Oh, hey, look, there was a train.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get that fixed. I'm sure it's an absolute nightmare with how many tracks they got wired into that thing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, where's our train here, Evan? I'm a little disappointed.
Well,
I feel like you gave me a bill of sale on this train trying to show up.
Well, what I didn't tell you is that it also has a salvage title, so...
Oh, okay.
Well, it'll still drive. It's just going to take a little bit longer. I'm not sure why it's not here yet.
I actually think I see the headlights.
Away. Oh, really?
If you look really closely through the tree leaves, I think you can see the headlights.
Yeah, I don't think they're going fast. They had some weird kind of tan colored lineup that seemed a little strange to me, but
yeah,
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not either.
But either way, it's a Z train. It can't be going too slow.
I'm not convinced he's moving at all. I think he's sitting back there behind the lights at East Cabin for some reason.
Yeah, let me check. Let me refresh my thing and see. Refresh. Oh, he's got a lineup.
He does.
And it says he's occupying the block, so he's moving.
Right. Well, we have to remember too. This is about 30 seconds behind real life.
That is. Oh, really? Okay.
So what you're looking at might actually be more up to date than the webcam.
Yeah, it says he's occupying the East Cabin thing, but he's only lined up just up to Murphy, so might be getting a crew change.
Where's this at? We're looking at East Dubuque right now. East Dubuque, Illinois on the BNSF Aurora sub. And the Canadian National has trackage rights here also.
Yes, they run roughly two trains for sure a day through there, but there are numerous extras with grain facilities and biodiesel in Dyersville, and I think there's a couple out there in western Iowa too.
Yeah.
So in one way or another, there's usually 3 trains a day. Oh, here he comes.
I think that he might just be ready to pop out from behind the trees now. This is the most painful, excruciating process that I think we've ever put our viewers through.
Yeah, no kidding.
Waiting for this guy.
Hey, I mean, we're all rail fans, so this isn't anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, this hobby has taught me the greatest lesson in patience that I have ever learned. Like, I was patient when I was growing up because my mom made it clear that if I wasn't going to be having fun. But yes, this is also yet another exercise in patience because railroads don't go very fast
all the time
nowadays. All the time. Yes. Right. Especially locals, and those are the majority of the trains that I like to go for, at least, because they've got all the old junky power that loves to blow up while we're chasing it, and
Yes.
the crews hate them and have no AC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it
Also-
possible? Hey, I
What's
know
that?
I'm interrupting you here, but is it possible he's actually back there doing some kind of work at the plant at East
You
Cabin?
know, he could be grabbing a cut from the center siding.
Yeah.
Because they store I don't know what their deal is with storing stacks in that center siding, but a lot of times when I'm making my way into Wisconsin or Illinois, I will see the tops of stacks in that center siding. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably making a cut to shove back.
If I had talked to this guy into cutting his tree down, we would
You would have seen him, but oh well.
we'd be
Another
able to
day.
see him a little better.
Yeah, no, that tree is just in the perfect position to
Yeah, completely
Like,
block our
when
line of
we-
sight.
Right. When we first installed the camera, the tree was on the rail of the rip
Right.
track that's closest to us. But nowadays, now that we're basically done with summer, it has made some progress and it's really annoying.
Uh-huh.
Shelf of his locker should be there, or
Sounds like they're doing work, yeah.
It does.
Now that is a problem because we will not be seeing 338 as long as they're blocking the diamond, which
I
they
know.
probably are.
Is the 338, is he out on the circuit at Dubuque Junction yet? Because we could switch over and see what his head end looks like also.
Could be. Let me pull that up really quick. Dispatcher display.
Let's see.
He is not quite yet. He's still got a headroom lineup, though.
Yeah.
So he is off the circuit out of wood, so he isn't too terribly long.
Right. He's got his train put away in the yard somehow. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go while we wait for something to happen. I'll go find when 586 happened if you want to ramble on about something else.
Oh, sure. I'm happy to talk. That's what I'm here for, right?
Yes, nothing's gonna really happen.
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do actually is I noticed that we missed one at Belle Plaine, and I'm going to back this up, and we're going to grab the footage and see what it is we missed out on here at Belle Plaine. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to pause this quick because I didn't mute this one. There we go. Now, back to Belle Plaine. Let's check this out. What do we have at Belle Plaine? This is going to be an eastbound.
Do you want to share your screen so I can see up to date what you're looking at here? Because the actual stream's a few seconds behind for me.
All right. Well, I suppose I could probably do that. Let's see here. We're sharing. We have by the way, a Union Pacific manifest going by Belle Plaine now.
Sounded like an ACE leading.
I got distracted by your question about the screen sharing.
Oh man.
And so, there we go. Now we are sharing screens, and you can see the Union Pacific trundling along.
Sweet. Look at them go.
I know. Charging up that hill at Belle Plaine, yes.
Running a railroad. So there is a pretty decent hill coming through town here, right?
Yeah, the train is actually going east, which is upgrade.
Yeah.
If you watch, sometimes you'll see coal trains that'll go through, their head end will go by here at 40. And by the time they get to the rear of the coal train, they'll be down to 15 or 12
Yeah.
or 10.
Right. Yeah. I just hope they don't have notch restrictions like the CN does, and then they're just sitting there in notch like 5, but they're only crawling along at like 5.5 miles per hour.
Right. I'm
But-
pretty sure the UP has notch restrictions, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's
I know
anyone
they-
that has inside information on that.
I know they have trip optimizer and they use that like crazy, but that basically treats it like a notch restriction. But then
Right.
again, when you're sitting there in notch 5 going 5.5 miles an hour, you know, maybe it's time to step on it a little bit.
Yeah. This one went through Fremont, Nebraska. CHNP. Yeah, it'd be NPCH. There you go. Because we're going
gotcha.
east.
Sure.
Yep.
Oh, nice Conrail auto rack there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a major fan of auto racks. I love seeing all of the fallen flaggery that still miraculously exists on them all,
Yeah.
because there are road names that you'd see on auto racks that you wouldn't even bother thinking of seeing on like anything else, never mind locomotives.
So
I know there's a couple Milwaukee ones out there somewhere.
yeah, that are still running around. Yep.
Ooh, hey, look, a 6-axle depressed or pivoting flat car there.
Yeah, articulated flat.
Articulated, yep. Cool.
That's right.
What are you saying there?
Well, I was actually gonna, with your comment about the auto wrecks. So I drove through on my way back from Sedalia. I drove through Moberly, Missouri, and when I got there, there was an NS train that showed up westbound and started working at the yard. And he had the he was an auto parts train.
Yeah.
He had the really long box cars.
Oh, right. The 86
with the auto parts box cars.
Yeah.
I forget what the length is. If they're 80-foot box cars.
I know. I think the biggest I've seen were 86 foot, which are just absolutely massive. But they could be. They could be something. Those are pretty old nowadays. I think they probably use something else.
Well, these were Conrail box cars.
Sure, yeah.
They were painted the solid blue, and they still had the C on the side, but they were re-stenciled or renumbered,
Patched or whatever, yeah. Yeah, those are probably 86 footers.
Yep, and then they also had flat cars that were loaded with auto frames on them as well.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So that was definitely something interesting. All right, so there's the rear of our... we decided this was NPCH, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So as he makes his way out of the picture.
586 swung by East Dubuque at 8:13 this morning.
Yeah, and what did he have for power today?
Same old 49.33 and 49.26.
All right.
The CN painted one will be leading west tonight, so I think I'll be staying home.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
That 49.33 because that's actually a radio control unit, and it has a bunch of like beacon lights on it.
Oh.
Fun stuff. It's also really crusty, but that's okay.
All right. Well, we need to check in on some different webcams here. I feel like that we don't give some of these webcams nearly enough love.
Right.
And right now, I'm going
by Mills.
We have something going by Mills, you said?
No, but let's just swing by because
sure.
Some recent events pertaining to the spine line have recently.
Yes, let's talk about that for a moment. So we need to have Mills Tower. Bring this over and load it up. So on the Mills Tower, the UP had a derailment, which was at Hampton. It's about 20 or so miles north of this diamond in Iowa Falls. And that was the reason that they were definitely detouring down the Iowa Northern. They would take their trains down the Iowa Northern from Manly to Waterloo to Cedar Rapids, and then they were running around the train at Cedar Rapids and taking it down the city line to Beverly to get back on the double main.
Yes.
And then head back over toward Des Moines and that direction. And so this is where... Now, there has been traffic. The UP has reopened the line at Hampton. So it's theoretically possible we could see traffic here today, but at the moment, we don't really have much to talk about except for the Iowa Falls Historical Society, which is the caretakers of the Mills Tower and gracious enough to host us for this webcam. So thank you to the Iowa Falls Historical Society, and make sure and check out the open houses that they have. They have an Illinois Central passenger depot, and they have the Mills Tower, which is the last interlocking tower in the state of Iowa. So, and then just some wonderful artifacts to go out there and check out whenever you're in the Iowa Falls area. And, you know, we're talking about tree growth. Look over there on the left side where it says milepost 147.7.
Oh boy, let me guess. A few months ago, that tree was not touching that text.
Well, it was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
It was November, so it was 10 months ago. November of last year when I installed this webcam. And yes, the text was entirely above the tree line at that time. And now, as you can see, the tree line is encroaching on the camera angle. Or, excuse me, on the text.
Yeah, well, can't really blame the tree for growing. But
Right.
at least it's not literally blocking our view like it is in East Dubuque.
Yeah, exactly. That's just another example.
Right.
UP northbound signal requested but not lined. All right. So let's go back over. Let's see here. We're going to mute this one. And, oh, we do have something in Sedalia. We missed it.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say it knocked down the signal, but I didn't know.
We're just going to back up a little bit and get the
Coal empties. Look at that.
doubled up coal empties, perhaps.
Could be.
There we go. Here's his head end. Blasting through town.
Ace and an AC-44.
Uh-huh.
And the likelihood of something else being back there is basically...
There was a CNW hopper.
Oh, really?
Did you catch that? It had the green painted end, and it actually had the CNW Herald on it also.
Yeah, there's still quite a few of those running around. I'm pretty surprised.
This is a system set of hoppers. These are all UP, CMO.
CTRN. I
Uh-huh.
haven't seen that before, at least not through here.
Well,
Well,
I'm
at
sure
least I
the
remember.
routing for different utilities that go through Missouri.
Right.
There was another CNW one.
Oh, yeah.
You saw that one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
CMO.
So yeah, this is very much a system set of empties that's running
Yes.
back to Colorado to get loaded up, or Wyoming in the mines.
Yep.
So what else have we got here? Some of these are, you know, it's interesting. Some of these, they're all rotary, but some of them still have the dump doors on the bottom as well.
Yeah, I bet they retain them for backwards compatibility.
Well, not only that, but they just keep using them, right? I think
Right.
in some cases those dump doors might even get welded shut.
Yeah.
Another CNW one.
Oh, wow. That one was clean.
Uh-huh. All right, so
I'm liking
what do you
this.
think? Is this going to be doubled up coal empties or just a single?
Knowing UP, I'd be willing to bet that it is doubled up. Because I can't remember the last time I haven't seen. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stop talking. AC-44.
Yeah, CMO is Omaha Road reporting marks. Part of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, part of the CNW. Somebody just putting it in the comments there.
Oh, okay.
But yes.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. I wasn't quite sure what that is, but
Yep.
I figured it was a holding company of some kind.
It wasn't. Well, it was. They were merged into the CNW, but yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right. Where to jump to next? Oh, there's one.
Hi. Oh.
190.3.
Yeah. So that's another good point too. Just a mile and a half past this depot to the left or to the west is a defect detector also. So when you're listening into the live feed here, you get to
Yeah.
hear defect detector as well. The
Cool.
next defect detector to the east is something like 20 miles away. Not going to pick
Yeah.
that one up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Gotcha. I'm pulling up the Atumwa sub board.
All right.
Looks like we just got couple eastbounds, but yeah, let me dig deeper. I'll get
Yeah.
back to you.
All right. So we talked about Mills Tower. We got that audio muted. So let's go ahead and we're going to bring up, because I don't think that we've gone out to Greeley, Colorado in the last program or two. Let's go ahead and pull up Greeley and take a look at this one.
Yes, one of the nicest cameras in our system.
It is.
Because it is, I mean, that is a very crystal clear, sharp image.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So we've got Greeley pulled up, and obviously we're not seeing anything at the moment, but I wanted to make everyone aware that we're very happy to have the Greeley, Colorado cameras as part of the Steel Highway family here. Do you still get a clear on the UP Depot camera? I'm not sure which depot are we talking about. So, all right. Well, somebody is actually operating the other Greeley camera, the one at 18th Street. I'm not sure what, but that's the one that's inset there.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're out here in Greeley, Colorado, looking at the UP Greeley sub, and we just want to make sure and thank our gracious hosts for having this camera and sharing it with us so we can broadcast on Steel Highway. So thank you for that. And if we see a train here, we'll definitely try to switch back at some point. And let's see here. Do you have the Waterloo sub up? Because I'm gonna switch over. Sometimes you get an Iowa Northern move in the middle of the day.
Get it to work. Yeah, let me try. I'll play with that in a second here. I gotta
All right.
play with some other stuff. I will get back to you on that.
I suppose that'll work. That's the classic response, right?
Yes, because I'm doing 15
I'll get
other
back
things.
to you on that.
Yep.
Who knows when?
Who knows when
here,
or if.
yes. Here is Cedar Falls, Iowa, looking west on the CN Waterloo sub. And while I'm talking, I'm going to open up the Waterloo sub and see if I can beat Evan to it. I'll bet that I can get it pulled up before
Oh,
he
you
can.
absolutely will, yes. I
Yeah.
haven't opened the Waterloo sub more than 4 times in my life. This will be the 5th.
Well, good for you. So there is nothing lined up at Waterloo at the moment. However, it looks like the UP might be making a meet at Argonne. So that is part of the Waterloo sub kit, which is kind of nice. Even when the UP turns off the ATCS for the Mason City sub, which might have already happened, but we're not sure, we can still at least see when there's meets happening at Argonne and
Yes.
see the South Switch at Argonne as well. So that'll be nice. But setting all that aside, this is Cedar Falls, and we're hosted here by the Cedar City Creamery. Jim Cook is the owner. He also owns Cook's Outdoors. He does bicycle rentals and canoe rentals, a lot of other stuff on the Cedar River. So go check out Cedar City Creamery if you are ever in. I really can't speak today. Cedar City Creamery, if you're ever in Cedar Falls. Have some ice cream and watch a train go by, and it's just a fantastic little spot. So, let us move on now, and we are going to... Job 40 is at Argonne. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured, but is he meeting somebody? Because Job 40 usually works on the siding. So I was surprised to see track lights on the siding and the main.
Do you know if they set their train out on the main anytime, or?
I've only ever seen them come off the siding and then down across the diamond into the yard. So I don't know. Maybe because even if they did, they'd have to pull out and shove back and double over, and
Yeah.
it would be a little bit of a process regardless. All right. Next, we're going to go over and talk about West Liberty. after I turn off the audio at Greeley. There we go. We're going to go over and talk about West Liberty. And our friends at the West Liberty Historical Society that operate the former Rock Island Depot in West Liberty, Iowa. Now, this is the Iowa Interstate Iowa City sub, and generally you get 4 trains a day through here. Occasionally there's some extras, UP passenger car moves. Yes.
Not here.
Not here, no,
Grinnell.
never.
Grinnell.
Right. Well, I was thinking of the donation move to Silvis.
Oh, true. That's also true.
Yeah. So we did see that. Might be standing trains if the rail strike happened. That's a good point. We might not have much to see. Trackside.
I forgot about that. That's awesome.
If there's a rail strike, we might not have a whole lot to talk about.
Right.
But we'll deal with that when the time comes.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, right now we're going to talk about West Liberty. I see Clifford McFerrin is on here. Pretty quiet out here today. Cliff is one of the volunteers that helps with the depot, and I know that he's always there to happy to give people tours of the West Liberty Rock Island Depot. And they have some great artifacts out there on their grounds as well. So if you're ever in the area of West Liberty, make sure and check out the Rock Island Depot. The next thing that I'm going to talk about then is I'm going to do my obligatory check out the magazine, steel-highway.com. Make sure and help support the channel, help support all the projects that we do here. The Sedalia one we just got on yesterday. And next week there's going to be an install in Guttenberg. And I'm hoping that the week after that there's going to be an install in Bellevue. So those will be the next 2 cameras that we have coming up. So check out steel-highway.com. You can subscribe to the magazine, help support the channel. All the stream feeds have links to donate via PayPal. You can do a one-time donation or a recurring donation. And basically any kind of support that people can offer, we are happy to accept. Ordering the magazine is probably one of the best ways, and the magazine is quarterly. It's just a ton of railroad photos that I'm very proud to be able to put together and share that with other people. Allowing photographers that otherwise, might not get a lot of exposure to be able to get some of their work published. So thank you everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't already, please consider doing so. And Cliff says, oh yes, 10 to 2 on Saturday. He is going to be at the West Liberty Depot. And yes, hello Brett, always good to see you. Brett from Wapaka is on, checking out the live stream today. So thanks everyone for checking in. Now we're going to switch gears here again. Let's go over, and we have not checked out Grand Mound today. Usually that's one of the one of our hot spots, and there just has not been any action out here today. I don't know if there's anything particularly nearby, but here is Grand Mound. And as I am changing gears to pull up the UP Clinton sub, we can see, aliens are invading in Grand Mound. We do have a westbound lined up at Grand Mound, but he is not on the circuit yet, not exactly approaching Grand Mound just yet. So nothing to share, nothing eastbound lined up at all. But this is Grand Mound, replica CNW depot that has been placed on city property at Grand Mound, and now it is administered by the city of Grand Mound. And they were gracious enough to run an internet line so that we could host a webcam here and give them a little bit of extra publicity. Yeah.
Yes. I'd also like to bring up that our Z train on East Dubuque finally has a light all the way out. So
Ooh.
He'll probably be pulling past here pretty
Let's
soon.
see.
Oh,
Here we go. Look at that. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Finally peeking out from behind the trees.
Right.
And we have a GE leader.
Good old-fashioned.
Well, no.
Not
An
so
old-fashioned
old-fashioned.
GE leader would be a U-boat. This
That's
is new.
correct. Yeah. Now, old-fashioned in my book would be a Dash 8.
Well, fine, but
Yeah.
you're just a little pup. You don't count.
But,
At least
but
not
yeah,
yet, anyway.
that's correct. Oh, yeah. Yep. On a side note, I do have a little bit of news on the CN side of things.
Yeah, let's hear
related
about it.
to their motive power. Apparently, there are no more wide cab Dash 8s in existence anymore. Period.
Really?
They have all been scrapped.
Well, that's interesting.
It
I
is
know that there are
incredibly-
some standard cab Dash 8s that are refugees.
Yes, there are some older 2000 series and a couple. There's one 2100 and two other regular ones that don't have straight air that are seeking refuge on the Iron Range, hauling around ore and taconite and all that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, for the most part, a lot of the standard cabs were actually completely redone in 2014 and basically brand new locomotives, aside from prime mover, like basic big, you know, major parts of it.
Yep.
Yeah, so they've redone them. They're basically brand new locomotives, yet they're treating them like they bought them from the CNW as is, with
Right.
1 million miles on them and leaking power assemblies and all that. So that's how they're treating them. That's not reality.
It's hard to get a good help.
Yep, I understand.
They still take 1 million years to load, but
Yes. So we have quite the eclectic mix of containers on this Z train. I saw some Walmart containers, an
Yeah.
Amazon container. The JB Hunt traffic is strong as always. Some Schneider trailers. A FedEx box.
Good help with that bridge around
Couple
that
of them, actually.
30,
Rail mail.
40 mark
Yep.
sales. It don't look like a problem.
I
right
have
now.
not seen any piggybacks yet, though, but that may still be
Roger
coming.
that, thank you.
yeah. I think there was actually a couple stray ones while I was rambling on about Dash 8s.
There was one.
Yeah,
There
just
was one, but
there.
it was really strange. It was a straight white box. I don't remember seeing any markings on it.
Signage or anything like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's the military moving something.
There's another
Maybe.
Amazon box. Yep.
Yeah.
The JB Hunt Intermodals. Two different paint schemes for JB Hunt Intermodal.
Yeah.
Faded and not faded.
Right.
You're on back 5 stop. Yeah.
Yeah, that yellow is a bit more of a suggestion than.
Right. Well, it's just like with the C&W locomotives. They painted them that nice bright Zito yellow,
Yeah.
and they just faded over time, and the yellow became closer to the green than to the yellow. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, here comes our containers.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we are. Yep.
Some trailer. Yep, yellow trailers.
Some yellow trailers. They aren't yellow.
I know, right? The Schneider originates in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Evan, say hi to Brett. He's on here asking who's talking
Oh.
with me.
Hi, Brett. Hope things are going well up at the depot.
Yeah. So what else do we have? It is interesting, too, to see the corrugated sides versus the straight sides on some of these trailers.
Yeah.
Those corrugated sides are designed to be able to hold more weight.
But a downfall of that is that they're the most, or the least aerodynamic design you could put on
Yes,
a
that
flat
you could hope
surface.
for.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. Here comes our DPU.
Get your hand over.
Oh boy. Oh,
And
okay.
it's another GE.
Yeah, an H2 G though.
Uh-huh.
Those are among my favorite of the Gevo
We don't need
series.
you.
Yeah.
I got something
It's
else
just
for you.
kind of throws me off seeing an older paint scheme on something that I see all too often.
Yeah. We should start a poll here. Well, about what is your favorite BNSF paint scheme? Let's do this quick.
Yeah.
Favorite BNSF paint scheme. And we're going to have H1. We're going to have H2. We're going to have the swoosh. And what am I missing? What am I missing?
You have H1, 2, and 3.
Oh, H3. That's right. H3.
Yes, and there also is an H4 that is seen on the modern rebuilds, Jeep rebuilds.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's considered H4.
So we're just going to call this H3 and H4. So we're asking the community, what is your favorite BNSF paint scheme? Let's see how many votes we get.
I think I know what I'll be clicking on.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the cancer car in a stack that was around pink? You do see those pink containers go around sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
They're rare. I feel like some of them may have met the scrapper's torch already, sadly.
Yeah.
But you do still see them running around. Apparently we had a train going by Carroll, and that was another one that I intended to get to today. So let's pull up Carroll here quick.
Oh.
And we're going to rewind a little bit, get on the head end of the train here. Here we go.
Also, if you use your right and left arrow keys, you can skip by 5-second increments.
Yeah. I'm talented enough, I can just pick the right spot and go.
Yeah, no, I will say you are pretty good with just scrubbing.
Uh-huh.
All right, looks like we got a little bit of. Looks like we got a visitor back there.
We do. We do.
We've also got what should be the leader in the middle, but that's okay.
Yes. We've got the GE, we got an SD70, and then an NS. Was that one of the
2-4.
AC to DC converts?
No, that's the Tier 4 Gevo.
Oh, okay.
The newest top of the line normal Gevo.
Got it. All right. And we just have some manifests. He must have been stopped outside of town. He is absolutely crawling by here.
Right. Yeah.
So what do we have? Got some 3-bay hoppers. High cube box cars. A mechanical reefer coming. Another 3-bay, some loads of lumber.
Lumber?
Yep. It's interesting because they have different originating points, right? The loads of lumber coming off the UP are often coming out of the Pacific Northwest. The loads of lumber you see on the CN, for instance, going by Wapaka as an example, are coming off of North or Western Canada.
Right. Now, do you know much about the lumber facilities in Dyersville and Delaware?
Yeah, you know, if we had a, we don't have a camera that follows the local there, but it's something that Dyersville and Delaware both get loads of lumber. The place in Delaware, I want to say that they get lumber for trusses that go into buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And the place in Dyersville, I think that's just a standard lumber yard that they just kind of sell everything and anything.
Yeah. I believe so, too. I've seen them. I can't ever remember if they drop loads, pick up empties, or vice versa. But, yeah.
So we have the results of our poll. 54% voted for H1 BNSF. 8% for H2, 23% for H3, and 15% for H4. So we're going to close up the poll, but thank you for participating, everyone, today.
Good afternoon, Patrick.
Yeah.
UP detector, milepost 257.6, map 1.
All right, well, the head end of the train is a mile away now. So we're at least 5,000 feet of train, if not more.
Ooh.
Actually,
that,
quite a bit more by the looks of this.
Yeah, did you see that fresh yellow UP boxcar there?
I did.
That was awesome.
I didn't even know they had their own boxcars anymore.
Yeah, I have a feeling it looked pretty much identical to those rail boxes there. I have a feeling that they're starting to buy them out.
Yeah. More cryotrans. These are probably produce from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Used to be run in unit trains.
Yes, the salad shooter trains.
Right.
Yep.
That is a great nickname. Love
It was. I loved that. I was very sad to see it go. If you go out to Missouri Valley, Iowa, way out on the west coast of Iowa, so to speak, there's some coil cars. One of them didn't have the lids set down correctly.
Random ballast car. Here comes our DP.
DPU and more GE power. So, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, the cars from the salad shooter trains, a lot of those are parked in the yard at Missouri Valley now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was out there basically a year ago, maybe a little less. And they have, I don't know, they had 3 or 4 tracks full of them. There's some
Ooh.
steel rods.
Yeah. Rebar or something like that?
Rebar for highways,
Sure.
maybe. Yep, that's
Yeah.
very possible.
Open boxcar. There's probably a guy riding in there.
Maybe. It is summertime. It's at least feasible.
Right.
He isn't going to die of exposure if he's in there.
Yeah.
Might get kind of warm, but with the door open, get a good breeze.
Yeah. Apparently that's the least desirable thing that a hobo could ride in because they make a ton of noise.
Oh, I believe that. Empty boxcar for sure.
Right.
Yep.
So apparently you strike gold when you get a DP. So,
Right.
and with the ever increasing length of trains and DPs, yes, it's
They won't even know you're back there. Yeah.
right. It's probably going to become a problem at some point.
Uh-huh. There's a blue tank car. I don't know that I've seen a blue tank car very often.
Yeah.
Not
I've
sure
seen
what
a-
that would be carrying, but that blue paint might actually indicate a certain commodity.
Kind of. Yeah. I've seen a red boxcar or a red tank car before. It could have been a firefighter training car. That's
Oh,
what I
sure.
was thinking. I think it was one of the NS ones that went astray.
Well, here's the rear of our train. So no rear DPU, just mid.
Right.
And now we're going to switch this off. And we are going to... Let's see what we're going to switch to now. I don't see anything particularly going on. So let's go ahead and... I'm going to look at the... Do you have the Clinton sub pulled up? There was a westbound lined up at Grand Mound. And I don't know if he is
Are
getting
you
close to
by
showing
or
up or
not?
not.
Let me dig through all of my desktop shortcuts that have been disarrayed.
Oh, well, you're going way too slow. I'm going to beat you to it again.
Yeah, just
You're the... It's like riding shotgun, and you're supposed to be reading the map.
right, but then we missed our turns 20 minutes
We
ago.
missed our turns because you aren't paying attention.
Yeah,
There's
no,
actually-
I keep getting sidetracked.
Haha, yes. There's
Ha-ha.
actually another eastbound lined up on Main 1 coming up to Belle Plaine.
Yeah.
So we may get him, but that westbound still is a no-show at Grand Mound.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and jump back over. You got anything on the scope at East Dubuque?
Let me pull it up really quick.
Because that's the one thing that you have access to that I don't.
Yes. We've got MOW going on.
Of course we do.
So, there is an S train coming from Seattle.
Yeah?
But it's only lined up just before the Diamonds.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that's going to have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
And then on Trempealeau, yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything today on there.
Well, we did. I mean, we saw one.
Yeah.
But it appears that it...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or was that right before we came on air? I don't remember now.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we got NTW Gallet and Mirrors, but it's only lined so far, so...
No, there was a train on the camera at Trempealeau. It was right before we came on the air.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we actually watched it. We can rewind and find it and say, hey, look,
Yeah.
what do we have going on at Trempealeau? And now there she is.
There we are.
Yep.
Look at that right there. Perfect.
Oh, not quite far enough.
Not quite. Almost.
I was
right
so
there.
close. There, look at that. We're going to see the whole approach.
This is one of my favorite views in the system.
It really is. It's a beautiful river, scenic
All the
view.
Driftless bluffs in the background. Good old H2-9
Yep.
on BNSF home rails like they should be, and not on the CN.
Right. Lots of graffiti on the auto racks today.
Yeah. They're a bit of a good canvas.
There's a Conrail one. You know, you were just talking about the fallen flags. KCS, that's going to be a fallen flag pretty soon.
Yeah, no kidding.
We look at the auto racks to see what all systems we can find. There's the BNSF swoosh. Do we consider that a fallen flag since they're not using it anymore? They're TFM.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I don't know.
Southern Pacific.
Oh, Southern Pacific. Yep, there's a good one.
Yeah.
Conrail right next to it, another TFM. Yeah, no, this is probably my favorite train. Now that is a piece of graffiti that I would classify as art.
Yeah, when they take the time to spray paint the entire side of the car and not just the part there's a Grand Trunk.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
Grand
Trunk
probably...
had a lot of auto racks though. Canadian
Yes.
Pacific.
Fresh Conrail. Look at that. It's almost like someone touched it up.
You wish.
Southern Pacific. That
Southern
one,
Pacific. In the
there ain't
speed
no way.
lettering too.
Yeah, there is no way that wasn't touched up.
Maybe that's what we should do. Start hiring graffiti artists to paint
Dude.
auto racks into fallen flag colors.
Yes. Or
Is
just
that a
straight
brilliant
up-
plan?
That is a great idea. I think we should hire them to not only do that, but touch up paint jobs in general.
Right.
You know?
All right. Well, we're at the end of the auto racks, and now we're into
More manifesty type stuff.
yes.
Some
This
miscellaneous
is
tanks.
a highly scheduled precision train.
Yes. Even though they're probably only going like, what, 45, 50?
Right. Oh, and here's the rear.
Yep.
All right.
Junk
so
gondola and a cylindrical.
well, there's the rear of our train. So we did get to see one by Trempealeau, but it went by
Before we...
an hour and a
Come on.
half ago. Right.
Right. Right. I'm gonna check all my boards really quick.
440 axles.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a train.
It's a decent sized train, I agree. We're going to close a couple more of these windows out. And we're back over at Grand Mound. And actually, we're gonna go over to Belle Plaine. Because my guess is this is gonna be our best shot for seeing the next train movement.
Yes. So we've got one coming right up to the control point there at Belle Plaine.
Yeah. So for people who are not familiar with it, the Belle Plaine crossovers are about 3 miles west of this location. And then the defect detector is half of a mile west of here, if that.
Yeah. Says it's at A117.
Right. I remember what the exact there's a precise mile marker, but basically you hear him set off that defect detector. Oh, we're not live. There we go. You hear him set off that defect detector, and then they are literally just about right on top of you. You can hear him whistling for the crossing and everything.
Yeah.
Looks like there's some kind of a delivery truck parked over there on the left side of the screen also.
Yeah, for the depot?
No, there's businesses on the other side of that street.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? Speaking of painting things,
Yes.
we should touch that caboose up a little bit.
It that caboose needs some help.
Yeah. Is that an AC unit I see sticking out of it too?
Yes.
Could have put it on the other side, but oh well.
They could have, but they didn't. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
Is
There's
it,
actually...
have you been inside it before?
No, I have not. I have not.
Gotcha.
We actually have double-barreled action lined up at Grand Mound now, both mains, heading westbound. But nothing on the circuit at Grand Mound yet. Yeah. So...
It's like just cross over the control point.
Yes. So we're going to hang on. We will continue broadcasting until this guy gets by Belle Plaine.
Yeah.
And then that'll be the end of our program for today. But while we're waiting for this this train to show up, this westbound, because we've probably got 3-4 minutes before he's going to show up. Maybe more than that.
Oh.
Just a friendly reminder to everyone about checking out steel-highway.com. Make sure and check out steel-highway.com. Subscribe to the magazine. Order the magazine. Thank you to everyone who has already subscribed or ordered. And make sure and help support the Steel Highway channel any way that you can. What do we got for comments here? The lamp post needs a filter on the camera side for better nighttime viewing. I agree. And I'm going to make another trip up there at some point to check that out and try to make some adjustments to the camera. What else do we have here? Not too... Yeah, some more comments. Precision scheduled railroading was the downfall of CN. Yeah. You know, there's actually... There was actually talk at one time after Hunter Harrison left and retired and then went to the Canadian Pacific about how they were trying to de-Hunterize the Canadian National.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much progress that they ever made with that. But It was interesting to hear that was something that was discussed at the CN at one time.
Yeah. Didn't Hunter Harrison start out with the IC and ended up on the CN?
Right. The CN actually inherited him when they purchased the IC. Yes.
Yeah.
That was in 1999, I believe.
Yeah.
Was the CN-IC merger.
Right. I remember when, I don't remember when because I wasn't alive, but I know that whole ordeal happened well before the whole Wisconsin Central merger into the DMIR and all of that happened up in 2003.
Right. The CN purchasing the IC was the first in a chain of mergers that got them to the size of system that they are now. And what people might even forget was that the original merger that got shot down by the STB at the time was the CNBN merger.
Oh, really?
Yep. Oh,
Oh, is there a train?
yep, he just knocked down the defect detector. So we should see him coming any moment now. I can hear the gates going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right after the UP had all their service meltdowns with purchasing the Southern Pacific and the CNW.
Yeah.
And then the BNSF and CN tried to merge, and the STB told them, no, you're not doing that.
The BNSF and the CN tried to merge.
Yes.
That would have been a railroad.
It would have been, it definitely would have been a very interesting merger, for sure.
Yes. And East Dubuque would not have two railroads going through it. That would be wildly interesting. It would be very simple for the sake of entertainment. But...
Yep. So here comes our eastbound. Big flag.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
NSCN, NSCN.
What?
Wow.
Jeez, that is a lash up.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, that the leader on that was a brand new Tier 4 ACE. And
Yep.
there was also a Canadian Cab Dash 9 back in there too.
Yeah, that was
rather-
an interesting concept, or interesting consist for sure.
Yeah.
Got some standard size box cars, some high cube box cars. These T boxes are pretty well painted up.
Yeah.
Some scrap guns, but they're empty.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Another graffitied reefer.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely glad we hung around for this.
Yeah. No, that was an interesting lash up.
Mm-hmm. And we have a pretty standard manifest snaking its way across the UP system.
Now, what's the difference between these tankers and all the other ones? Like the ones with the huge walkways?
Oh, those are the anhydrous ammonia tank cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looked like there was a fresh reefer there.
Yeah.
Forgot what company owns those, but those are relatively new.
Yeah, in the 1980s, the Milwaukee Road and CNW merger happened. That would have been interesting too. It was, it's funny to think about that the. Oh, here comes our DPU.
Wow, Golden West service
Yeah,
boxcar. Just another GE, same old.
yeah. So yeah, with the CNW's penchant for abandonments, I don't think much would have been left of the Milwaukee Road if that had gone through.
Yeah, no. I don't think it would have worked, especially in Iowa, because both of those railroads had a redundant system.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oop.
Got some ties in a hopper there.
Oh, Michael Butler, when you put everything in all caps on a message, or mostly caps, Nightbot sees that and blocks the message. So, just so everyone knows, I do have Nightbot active on the channel now to try to stop the spam bots from attacking.
Right,
But
'cause they are annoying to say.
yeah,
the least. Lineage. That's what those reefers are owned by.
Yeah.
Already graffitied.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
look at that, a CN reefer,
Ooh.
or at least a high cube. That's interesting.
So yeah, to anybody that's watching that chats, just know that if you put messages in all caps or mostly caps, Nightbot is going to find you and stop you because you look like a spam bot when that happens.
Yeah. So I see we've got a bunch of winged French geese too, but they don't look nearly as large.
Yeah.
Are there just like normal honeybee nests or something? Or?
No, there's definitely
Flies.
wasps up on the top of that museum at Belle Plaine.
That's great.
Yeah. So we will just, we'll finish talking about the Belle Plaine Museum. They're open in afternoons, noon to 4, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And lots of great artifacts to check out at the, oh, there's some coil cars, but different looking ones.
Oh boy, I wonder what happened there.
I think those flat cars would have had plate steel on them at one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what those are for. They just left the
Wood there.
Yeah.
That they used to fork it up with.
That's right. Very rusty
Yeah, cylindrical there.
cylindrical
Yeah,
hopper, yes. The rear of the train may be coming.
Oh,
And
yep.
there's our rear DPU.
One pushing.
So, anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll talk more about the Belle Plaine Museum on the next show, possibly. If the strike happens, I will say I'm not going to do Trackside with Tom if there's a strike going on, because there will be no trains to see.
Yes.
So just be
There's
aware
already-
of that. I am planning on being on the air on Friday, noon Central again, and then we'll just have to see how next week goes. If there's not going to be or if there's no trains moving, then we're not going to have a program. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yes, we will be going on strike as well.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Evan, for your contributions today.
Absolutely.
And we are going to sign off for the afternoon. Thanks for checking out Steel Highway Webcams.
Take care, everyone.